Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us across the fence. I'm Fran Stoddard. Our focus today is on a statewide program that offers real-life science lessons and hands-on learning experiences to thousands of Vermont school kids. It's the 4-H Embryology Program. Embryology is offered in public, private, and home schools. And because it's a 4-H program, youth are learning life skills like leadership and resiliency. To find out what's hatching in this year's program, I am joined by UVM Extension 4-H educator who directs the Embryology Program statewide. Her name is Martha Manning, and we're always delighted to have her join us. She's connecting via Zoom from her office in St. Albans. Martha, it's great to have you back with us.
Thank you very much. It's great to be on Across the Fence.
Yeah. So to get started, explain what the Embryology Program is.
So the Embryology Program is a program that's available to schools throughout Vermont, home schools, and we're even in some child care centers. And it's a program where we take eggs and we incubate those eggs for 21 days in the classroom. And it gives students the opportunity to learn, the process of going from an egg to a chick. And that it's a process of 21 days, and they take responsibility for those eggs, and they, monitor the humidity, and they are sure that the eggs are turned each day. And it's important for youth to learn, not only where their food comes from, but that you can start with an egg. And I don't have any baby chicks today. It's a little cold in Vermont, but I did bring in cream leg bar hen. And sometimes I actually take the mature chicken to a classroom, but so that youth can learn where their food comes from and the process and the life cycle of a chicken.
And she's beautiful. So right now is the time to sign up. So what does a teacher or parent need to do?
Right now, schools can contact me in St. Albans, and the phone number is 802-524-6501. And my extension is 449, or they can send an email to martha.manning@uvm.edu. The materials will be going out early in March, and schools can sign up, and we'd love to have new schools join us.
Terrific. And there's so many opportunities for learning with this program. Talk about the multidisciplinary aspects of the program and why that's so important.
So embryology isn't just about science and eggs. There's many books that teachers can incorporate into the lessons. So there's literature, and there's writing opportunities to for journaling, and math as far as making predictions and percentages, like what percentages of their eggs will hatch. There's opportunities for art. So it's really a great program to use in all areas of the curriculum.
Absolutely. And what do kids take away from this program?
Embryology is one of those programs that if you go back into a school when students, maybe if they did the program in kindergarten, first grade, second grade, maybe when you go back in middle school or high school, they can still tell you about learning the parts of an egg, or the life cycle of the chicken, and all of the great experiences they had from learning about the eggs and then watching the actual hatch happen.
It's a day they'll always remember. And what about teachers and parents? What do you hear from them?
Teachers and parents always rave about the hands-on approach and how it really reaches out to those kids who maybe learn in different ways and who need to see the actual process and not just read about it in a book.
Right. And you provide the eggs, because you can't just buy eggs from the grocery store, right?
Well, you can get eggs from other locations other than just through, UVM Extension, but eggs in the grocery store are chilled, which would kill that undeveloped embryo within the egg. And the majority of eggs within a grocery store are non-fertile eggs, so you would end up with no chicks.
Right, so that's pretty important. So once again, I want to make sure that everybody has the information. If a teacher or a parent is interested in the embryology program, how do they get in touch?
Martha.Manning@uvm.edu, or give us a call at 802-524-6501. And we've even had other individuals sponsor a classroom. So if you'd like to do that, get in touch with us as well.
Oh, what a great idea. And I hear just quickly, you hear from other former students. All good, right?
Yes, we hear from that it's just a great experience, and it's one of those lessons that they remember for well into adulthood.
Yeah. Martha Manning, thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to next time.
Thank you, friend. Have a great day.
Okay. And for our next segment, we will explore the Sustainable MBA program at UVM. The Princeton Review has named the UVM program the best green MBA in the country for 3 out of the past 5 years. From our archives, Rebecca Gollin tells us more.
So the whole idea here is that
this may look like just any classroom, but what these students are learning is anything but business as usual.
Can business solve some of the most difficult problems that humanity faces by being creative and thoughtful and innovative?
Program Director Joe Fusco spends a lot of time thinking about how to make the business world better.
The problems that we have in the next 50 years of human society look very different than the problems we've had over the last 50 years. So we can't approach business, we can't approach the way we manage and create businesses the same way in the future that we have in the past.
These students are part of the Sustainable Innovation Masters in Business Administration program at the University of Vermont's Grossman School of Business. It's a 1-year program that incorporates learning traditional business skills like finances and operations within a larger framework of environmental and social responsibility.
So as you start off with the idea, then you build this into your first product, and then you say, well, how would this first product actually build to a second product, a third product? How would it go into a more, not only environmentally and socially sustainable business, but a financially sustainable business as well?
Eric Munson is one of the professors in the program. In his class, students work in groups to come up with a sustainable business model.
Well, this course is getting their feet wet, probably not only their feet, but their knees, their hips, the whole body wet really quickly. Instead of waiting till the end of the program to throw them into an integrative course where you pull together all the skills, we decided it was important, and the students early on thought it was important, that they get exposed to entrepreneurship as early as possible.
On this day, the students are presenting those models to their classmates and the public.
Our business is Microsun, and it's basically a small solar kit for people who can't afford to get the full solar array that's sold for houses and homeowners and businesses.
And that's enough to power your TV, 2 laptops, charge your cell phone.
Noelle Nierenda and her group created a business model for a new kind of solar company. Each of the team members brought different skills to the project. For Nierenda, who had a career as a mechanical engineer before coming back to school, working in a team setting was itself part of the learning process.
It was more back and forth, more iterations, and not just within our group and our team, but also we had to do customer interviews, we had to research competitors in the field. So it was a lot more involved, and I really felt like I did learn a lot, though, just from the process of it. And just to realize that, there isn't just one way to solve a problem.
Nierenda was drawn to the program for its emphasis on solving those real-world problems.
I just felt like for development-wise and for improving living standards, there's only so much that being in the engineering field can do, but the biggest impact is what businesses have. And I really just wanted to be able to have greater impact with my technical knowledge by being able to produce better products, and I guess also understand how businesses can take up the role in development.
Some of the business models at the trade show are more than just an exercise. They're based on actual businesses.
My business is Green Man Acres, so it's a diversified farm on 230 acres in Moncton.
Former Marine Cameron McMahon is hoping to get his diversified farm business going next year. Since his group had to come up with a workable idea for the project, he pitched his business, and they decided to use it as their model.
Forestry and wood products, livestock, market garden and orchard, and hosting weddings and events. And so those are kind of the 4 core areas of the farm that I'm going to be developing.
The teams had to complete a variety of tasks, including developing competitor analysis and market research. Seeing the real numbers that go along with the different ventures he's planning has given McMahon a lot to think about.
Prior to coming into the program, my intention had been to really explore starting the wedding side of the business as kind of the first main focus. The main reason that I've kind of pulled back on that is because there's higher startup costs and more risk involved, potentially much higher revenues with it, but in being able to focus on something that's smaller scale, lower cost in the meantime to actually generate some revenue in the next couple of years makes more sense to me.
It's a new kind of business leader from the heart of Vermont.
So I often hear that, well, what can Vermont do? It's just a small state. And maybe what can UVM do? It's just one university. And so the thing I like to tell everybody is, and it might be a cliche, but it is better to light a candle than to curse the darkness. So we all have responsibility to do what we can where we are, no matter how insignificant we think it is. It's not for us to judge whether what we're doing is insignificant. It's for us to take action and see what we can do to make change happen.
Changing the business world for the better, one future leader at a time. At the University of Vermont, I'm Rebecca Gollin with Across the Fence.
Hope with those leaders. Thank you, Rebecca. And once again, thank you for joining us Across the Fence. I'm Fran Stoddard. Stay well.